Simona is an IISI fellow doing a current labor market study, and Aisha and Usharini are active in the IRSN.
Good evening, everyone. Members of Advisory Committee for Immigrant Insight Scholars, Axel, our Executive Director, Yuvendra Shakya, our Senior Research Scientist, and Ted Richmond. Thank you so much for the introduction. And first of all, I would like to thank you all for coming in this rainy evening here. And also thank you so much, Dr. Shafi, for so much inspiring talk. It's always good to listen to you and to get motivated. It's always a pleasure. Today we are going to launch our Immigrant Insight Scholar web portal. I'm very much excited and also excited to see a lot of new faces. We have some new members here. Some of you guys I have met virtually, some of you have met personally, so it's good to see all of you here. Before launching our web portal, I'd like to say a few things about our fellowship program, because I had some colleagues here asking and they were interested about our program. So I will very briefly mention about our program. So if some of you are interested in the future, you can look at our website and you can apply to some of our fellowship. Access Alliance launched Immigrant Insight Scholarship Fellowship Program in 2017. And main idea about this fellowship was to enable internationally educated researchers to find local experience, track record, and also to get networking opportunities in order to transition to a more successful research positions in the Canadian labor market. So by internationally educated researchers, we mean statisticians, epidemiologists, it could be evaluators, it could be clinical statisticians. These are the group. We offer two different kind of fellowship throughout our program. The first one is Immigrant Insight Scholarship Fellowship, which is offered to internationally educated researchers who have experience of research back home, and they are here in Canada for 7 years. They are eligible to apply. The second component of our fellowship is Young Insight Scholar, which is open to Canadians and both immigrants. It's for people who are 35 years of age or below, who are motivated and passionate about advocacy, system change, to bring systemic change to the Canadian society. So we offer that one, those fellowships, and all our fellowships are complemented with mentorship. We provide mentorship for each fellow throughout this fellowship, and also beyond fellowship, we try to help them to find ways how they can do a professional development for their post-fellowship era. So that's all about our fellowship. And the second component of our program is about immigrant researchers support network. This was advised by our advisory committee members, because the number of fellowships, as you know, they are limited. We can only provide these fellowships to a limited number of people. In order to reach wider group of internationally educated researchers, we launched Immigrant Researchers Support Network, which is a peer-to-peer networking opportunity for you, and the professional development components attached to that. And IRSN usually have two different components. One is in-person meetings, like today it's the fourth IRSN meeting that we have, which usually have two different components. The fourth session is a expert panel discussion where we bring in experts to talk, and then the second component usually has a professional development. We bring in people to do professional development workshops. So today's program was a little bit different because we launched our website. Today is the first day of our launch, so our program was a little bit changed. So today I would have my other internationally educated researchers, a group of you, who actively helped us throughout this process. We launched this website off the site, and it was pilot tested, and they actively helped us throughout this process. They provide us constructive feedback. They look at the components, the technical part of this web portal. There were some mistakes that were there, like technicality, and we also wanted to learn from internationally educated researchers themselves how they feel about this website. So thank you so much for all of you and other members who also provided constructive comments, feedback about this web portal. Finally, today is the day that we will launch it officially for all of you, and I really encourage all of you to actively participate in this web portal, because this web portal is for you to take advantage of. Making networking, the same thing Dr. Shafi mentioned, networking is very, very important in order to secure a job in the Canadian market. So we will have a lot of stuff here for you, but it's the beginning. It's the first step. As of today, it will be launched officially. Then you can actively, those of you who are not member of this web portal, you can actively participate in this. This is the first page of our web portal. It's a semi-membership web portal. If you don't have a membership, you are only able to access limited resources on the web portal. For example, you can see the number of members, you can see the opportunities that exist there, but if you get membership, it's free. Then you have access to full resources that we have on IRSN web portal. It's free, it's a very simple process. You sign in, there are a few questions that you answer, and then you get approval and you can sign in. This is the main page when you sign in and you get your membership approved. This is how our web portal will look. We have our IRSN logo, which was designed by Fiza, our mobilization coordinator, with guidance and advice from Uganda. Uganda is overseeing this whole program, and he is supervising the whole process. The first menu, the first page, you will see it has a snapshot of all components that exist within the web portal. For example, you can see some members here, you can see some of the featured blogs that we have, some of the forums that we have, recent activities that is going on in the website. You can see what's going on here. Some of the opportunities and also resources that are available in our web portal, and some of the videos from our previous IRSN meeting. This is, for example, the launch of IRSN that we had. Our executive director was talking in these videos, Ted Richmond, Uganda, and we have panel discussions as well. You can go to the different sections to watch all these videos, and also some of the events that are coming in. So I'll go to this, to all of them in a minute. The first component of the menu is members. So it's a very important component of this web portal, because membership is very important. You connect with each other, because I mentioned this web portal is for you. So you need to connect with other internationally educated researchers, look at their profile, see what are their experiences. So this way you may collaborate with each other. There might be some ideas that you can share. You can share information. As soon as you go to the membership part of our web portal, you see members. These are recent members who joined our web portal. There are more and different pages as you go on, and these members are sorted as they sign in. So if you want to alphabetically sort it, you can see them based on alphabet, or you can also search their name. If you want to search, I can see you can search them and find out any person that you are looking for. When you click on any of these links, you will see the profile of that person who created this one, and you see what are their experiences. For example, today, I think we have Arwa here. Yes, thank you so much for coming. Arwa created her, for example, profile. Here you can see she has a PhD in information technology. You can see what she is interested about in this section. What are her research experiences like? She's interested about e-learning, e-government, and different courses. You can see her activities, what's going on, what forum she's interested to participate, what topics she shared, and what blogs or discussions she's attending. Or you can request a friend. Should invite, she can be your friend, and you can send a message to her to collaborate on different topics that you might be interested based on the expertise. For example, if somebody is interested in mental health, they can find who is expert in mental health. And they can find them, they create collaboration and share information for you, especially if you are not living in the city. For those who are outside of the city, that's a good opportunity to work together. You may have a problem, you can ask them questions. For example, if you're doing the research on a certain topic, you can ask advice and feedback from experts in the field. So that's a good way to connect with each other. And remember, one of the objectives of this portal is to do networking. So that's a very good opportunity to do networking through looking at different people's profile and find out what are their experiences. The second component of our web portal is opportunities. From time to time, we try to announce some of the job vacancies which are related to the field of research or evaluation or data analysis or analyst positions. So far we have announced 97 opportunities online. So I encourage you all to come here frequently, look what positions are available. We used to send email, mass email for opportunities that are available, but we think with so much information, some people may not be comfortable to receive a lot of emails. So it would be good if you come here and look at the number of opportunities that exist. Maybe we are planning, like we were talking with Uganda the other day, that we will probably have a digest, maybe on a monthly basis, to send out some of the opportunities that exist, for example, bi-weekly basis, so you can look and see what's new. And you will get notification as well whenever there is new information available. In terms of resources, there are some very good resources. Again, I said this is the beginning. We will build on with help from you about the resources. So far we have published 26 resources. They are like free webinars about research, like trainings about NVivo. We have like CBR research, community-based research toolkit that was developed by Access Alliance. You can access that one. We have other documents like workshops going on, some toolkits, some research ethics documents that were published by Canadian Institute of Research. So there's a lot of information there. You can go in, see and study, you can use it. And again, you can also contribute. If you find anything interesting, you can upload it here and share it with other members so they can also utilize from those resources that exist. The other part of our, which is very interesting part of our web portal, is forums. Forums are places where you can share some ideas, a topic that you think is very interesting, and then people can come in and they share their view, they can comment, it's very fluid. For example, one of the topics that we shared, which was mentioned here before also, about the labor market challenges, and also to find out what are the opportunities. Shamona may talk in detail about that one. So we have to find out what are the challenges, what are the barriers that exist for internationally educated researchers in order to transition to research positions in Canada, or what are the institutional opportunities, what services exist out there, so we can find out. So this is a good opportunity for you to share your personal experience, the challenges that you faced yourself, so others will know. In the meantime, what strategies have you used which were very successful for those who secured a job? You can share with others, so it's a learning opportunity to learn from each other. And this is the first forum, for example, that exists. You can see a lot of discussion, different people, they are feeding into this forum, they provide information, and they share some of the documents. This is Montaz Begum, one of the successful candidates, for one of the successful alumni of our fellowship program that now is the member of advisory committee for Access Alliance. She's here. Thank you so much. She did a lot of good job with Access Alliance, and then she was able to secure a job after completing her fellowship. She's a success story for us. So the list is so long, you can go there and you can see what are the comments or feedbacks from different people in this field. And you can also write a comment. It takes a few minutes. You can share your views so others can utilize it. The other portion of our web is blogs. And blogs will give an opportunity for some of our members, as I mentioned, for example, Mumtaz to share or reflect upon the challenges that she faced in order to get a job in Canada, or some of the strategies that worked for her. So she, for example, did a blog recently about her journey in Canada, how she was able to secure a job. So that's very inspiring. You can read it. And we have another fellow here, Osharani Ratinam. She also wrote a blog about her challenges. She's a PhD. And the way that worked for her to secure a job, or what challenges still she is facing in order to have like a permanent job. And we have like recordings and information about our previous IRSN meetings or some other topics that, for example, Uganda, our senior research scientist, he wrote some blogs, it's there. So you can also write a blog, share your experiences, so we'll post it for you here so other members can see. And then there are categories there, like different categories. You can see what are the success stories, the blogs related to research, or the featured blogs you can access. This is the second important component of our web portal. These are groups. Groups are a little bit different than forums. As I mentioned, forums are very fluid. Anybody can jump in, they can write a comment and feedback about a certain topics. But groups are different. Groups, people can create a group and then invite certain members, or the members can join themselves into a group about specific things. For example, I think Etish is not here. He had a very good idea about starting a journal about mental health. So created a group about this topic, and we invited some people. We have Amjad Boujeli here. He's one of the successful internationally educated researchers who recently secured a fellowship with Access Alliance, and he will be joining us on November the 5th. So we are very excited to see him. He's also a member of this group, and I know that there are some psychologists like Nazanin, Etish, so they can work together and collaborate in writing a paper, come up with a new idea, so they can work together. This group is a chance for you to specifically work on a specific topic. You can see who are the members of each group. For example, if you look at the members, you can see there are 11 members. So as I mentioned to you, it's the beginning, so we can have more members in different topics. They can share information, they can create a forum. For example, Etish created a forum so about this topic, so they can then contribute the same way that their forum was there. It's a little bit different. This forum is only open for group members, that they can chat like specifically about a topic of interest for themselves, rather than a very fluid discussion under the forum. We have other groups. For example, one of the groups that was very interesting was research grant writing, that Aisha may speak about that in a minute. So we have a lot of people who showed interest there to join this group, and we also invited some members that we thought are their portfolios relevant to this. And she had a very good suggestion of having a professional grant writing workshop. So Access Alliance will provide a venue for those members who are interested about this. So they can come in and they can have a workshop. You can have like a personalized workshop. For example, a few members of members of IRSN can come up with an idea, and then we can provide a space for you. You can do a workshop within yourself, like a peer-to-peer learning. So that's an opportunity for you to build on and do networking and know each other. So these are some of the forums that were created within that group. That was very interesting, and Aisha will talk a little bit about that one, because she took a very proactive role in running that group and inviting other people into that group. Again, we have different kind of group. For example, one of the fellows who happened to be expert on mental health, she joined Access Alliance the other, like 2 months ago probably. Neelam is here. So she initiated this group about HPV screening. It's a research project, actually a fellowship by Access Alliance, and there are some members who showed a lot of interest to provide feedback to her. You can see a lot of discussion going on there. the moment about this and they share information. That's a good way to see, to get engaged with this one. So the last component, let me go to the last component. It's about news. We have also a component where there is an interesting topic or work. Go into detail and see what's going on. If you are interested, you can show like I'm going to this meeting or I'm interested in this meeting, so people can see if 2-3 other colleagues are going, you can run together. These are the upcoming events. We also have previous past events. You can see what were the previous events that we shared through this portal, and some of the events that you are interested to go, you can tag it so other people can see like which events you're interested to go. So that's all about the main parts of this web portal. So now I will ask Aisha Shamsuddin to talk a little bit about her experience, how she used this IRSN web portal, was it useful for her, and the groups that she's facilitating. Then at the end we will answer any question you may have. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Aisha. I'm a research professional with more than 5 years of experience with various nonprofits across India. I'm currently engaged in an India-based research project with an academician here in Canada. My project explores the scope of women collectives in empowering marginalized women in India. I'm here to give you a brief outline on how I am using this web portal. I have been engaged with IRSN web portal ever since its inception. I and my fellow IRSN member Usha Rani, who will speak to you shortly, was actively involved during its pilot testing phase. We tested every application of the web portal for a period of 5 days and could give meaningful feedback for modifying the web portal further. So I'm quite happy about the fact that the whole making of this web portal itself had imbibed a participatory approach, and the potential users of the portal had a strong say on its layout and applications. Now let me say a few words about how I am using this portal currently. The portal provides us a platform to feature our professional profile and thus helps us to connect with researchers in our own sector. I have started using the portal to identify researchers with similar professional profiles and have also attempted to establish connections with them. Another important feature of the portal which I am actively using is the discussion feature under the forum section. Once the portal was informally launched, I could initiate discussions on the portal and could also actively participate in discussions initiated by others. Some of our topics of discussion include intricacies in measuring development impact, research analyst programs in colleges in Ontario, research versus evaluation skills, labor market challenges faced by internationally trained researchers, and efficiency of culturally appropriate HPV screening program. We have also formed groups in the portal which aims to impart skill development training for internationally educated researchers. I am the administrator of one such group formed recently. We call it the Research Grant Writing Group. The group has 23 members. I'm sure many of you here are already the members of this group. My group intends to share resources on writing in research, like writing a proposal, writing a research paper, writing a policy brief, etc. We also plan to hold research writing workshops in collaboration with Access Alliance in the near future. We also intend to provide peer-to-peer support in making the IRSN members job ready for the Canadian job market. With this intention, we have started a group called Proofreading. If there's anyone here who needs support on proofreading their resumes or CVs, feel free to reach out to me through this group, and always here to help. The portal also provides a platform to connect me to the Canadian job market, as I get to know about many research opportunities in my sector through the job postings in the portal. Yet another useful feature of the portal is the resources section. I get access to many useful resources, particularly research-related guides and toolkits from this section. Last but not least, I also get information about various events in Toronto, like research methodology workshops, talks by experts, conferences, etc., which helps me keep abreast with latest developments in my sector. I'm sure that this portal has immense potential to build our professional network and can also serve as an effective platform to fulfill our career objectives. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, good evening. Today I feel really happy to be here to share some of my experience about how I used IRSN, and I want to thank Access Alliance for this opportunity, like our ED and Chatted and Senior Scientist Yogendra and Kumar for giving me this opportunity to share some of my experience. To say briefly about me, I am Dr. Usharani Rathinam. Currently, I am working as a research assistant at Canadian Centre for Accreditation. And also, I am a member of this IRSN initiative since a year, I guess. So, my background is like I am from India. I grew up and I raised there, and I moved to UK to do my PhD. And after that, I came to Western to do a postdoctoral fellowship for a year. And after my contract ended, like that's the time I started looking for employment within Canada. And during that time, like one of my friends has told me about this great immigrant fellowship. So I was not a PR that time, but I thought like I was throwing my application everywhere to apply for fellowship. So I can only do fellowship at that time. So when I applied for this fellowship, I was thinking, okay, by the time I get into the interview, I will get my PR. So unfortunately, I couldn't get into the interview. But to my surprise, I got an email from Access Alliance saying that they are conducting a meeting like for the immigrant researchers. So after, like I was in a desperate situation, like where I will go. I don't know anything in Canada and how I will get network and what are the things I'm going to do. So when I saw the email, so I was really surprised and I was happy. But that time I was not in Canada, so I was outside. So I sent them, immediately replied them like I am really interested, but I couldn't. So they replied me like, okay, for the next meeting you can come. That's how my journey started with Access Alliance. So I came for the second meeting, and that's the time they started the idea of this web portal. And yeah, so since then, like that's the time I become a member. So there was only very less members that time. So, and then like I used to attend the meeting, and I come and go and often see people here and talk to people, and everything was going fine. So I was, as Aisha said, like we were also given an opportunity to test with this web portal. So I felt it's really a great initiative, especially for immigrant researchers like us. In my mind, like when the pilot testing was taking place, like in my mind I was thinking like, what is the difference between the other, there are so many websites like job portal websites and so many things, like what is the difference? So I feel this is more focused, like this network, this group is like IRSN platform is really focused, more focused. I feel like, for example, if you take a LinkedIn, you get a lot of jobs, you can save jobs and you can apply. But what I'm feeling is like, it's more focused, like they're targeting only researchers, like immigrant researchers. So in that way, like we are going to get network with more researchers and who are really a professional network, as Dr. Shafi has brought out the importance of networking. I really felt like that importance after coming to Canada during my period of unemployment. So, and also the job search, like if you go to the opportunity, what Imal has said, like the job search options are really like, it's very focused, like it's more fitting to us, like it's more fitting to the members. It's not like you're going to search which is going to fit, like you can go and see the title and just you can go and apply. So I mostly used this website for a lot of job search, because most of the time I go inside and see all the jobs, and even today I checked the job and I applied for one. So I mostly use for job search, and I'm using for networking. Every time I see really new people here, and I'm very happy, like it is more like, we got really good friendship here, like Aisha was really, we are in contact and we share everything, like we talk in phone and we share, like and with many people. Like I was there for the focus group and we had really good interaction with everyone. So, and also information, like for information I find it really very useful because this website is very user friendly and it's more accessible for information and it is more focused. So I feel that the features, like it's, as Imal has explained, it's very easy, like you can just be a member and get all the information. For example, the resource section has lot of webinars and seminars. Like I use NVivo webinar, which I was very much, I got lot of information from that. Like I had some time to go through these webinars like about NVivo. So I got lot of information. I don't know about NVivo 12 that they has SPSS and NVivo integrated thing. So these are some of the information I got used to. And also I get also opportunity to post in blog and discuss so many things in the group and forum and all other features. So I personally feel like this is really a great initiative and it helped me a lot, and I encourage everyone to get involved and get use of this great portal. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming and joining us at the 4th meeting of IRSN. So I am one of the Immigrant Insight Scholar of Cohort 2, and I'm conducting the labor market research for Access Alliance. And I use this platform to network with the immigrant researchers to conduct focus group discussions. So far, I have conducted 3 of the focus group discussions and got very important and relevant information to identify the barriers and challenges from the internationally educated researchers. And also I had the opportunity to invite them to join this network because from here they could network with the other researchers who are in their own field. So this is how I am using this portal, as well as we have different topics of discussion in the forum and blogs where we take initiatives to answer to those who have questions. And I really appreciate Aisha and Usha to always be very active members of our groups. And the next focus group I'm going to conduct is on labor market research is with the researchers who are already employed. So if we have any researchers in this forum who are interested to join our focus group, I would like to get their names and conduct the last focus group for our study. Thank you so much.